wonderful to see such a great turnout here again to certainly recognize our youth in this community who have achieved so much. So my name is Mike Ellis. I am the MLA for Calgary West, and I am the Chief Government Whip for the United Conservative Government. Before we begin, I'll do some brief introductions. One thing I've learned over my 3 terms and is make sure that we always recognize those who have made the sacrifice and the commitment to put their name forward to be elected in this province. So I'll announce the names, and if we can just give a round of applause to all of the elected officials here. We got from the City of Calgary, Councillor Gar Gar. Go ahead. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. From the Calgary Board of Education, we have the Chair, Marilyn Dennis. Could you stand up and be recognized? Thank you very much. We have from Calgary Southeast, MLA Matt Jones. Matt, where are you? Thank you very much. And then we have MLA Nick Milliken from Calgary Kordit. Sir, where are you? Thank you very much. MLA Jeremy Nixon. And we have Mr. Rajan Sani. Where are you? Here you are. We also have Mr. Rebecca Schultz from Children's Services. And Mr. Dimitri Nicolaitis. Where are you, sir? Oh, all right. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess before we get to all of our guests, and as the government whip, we're make sure to talk to people, make sure they keep their speeches short, so we can some of these young kids are going to eventually have to go to bed this evening. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Gar Gar for organizing this. Thank you, Gar Gar. Thank you very much for this community for being here. And I've seen personally, last year, so I'm very proud to see this turnout and the people that are in attendance here. So it's great to be here at the South Sudanese Youth Academic Achievement Gala. I'd like to thank everyone again for this warm reception, and special thanks to the South Sudanese Youth Empowerment Society for organizing this event, and of course, as I indicated, to my friend Gar Gar for the invitation to be here. Now, as some of you may know, I was a former sergeant with the Calgary Police Service, and it's certainly wonderful to see so many members of the Calgary Police Service here today. Maybe we get our service folks to stand up and be recognized as well. Can we get you guys to stand up, please? It's very important. Absolutely. One thing about here in Calgary is that you know, and I don't want to speak for them, but you know, one thing that I learned during my tenure, at least in the Calgary Police Service, is that the police are an extension of the community. So not an arm of the state. And, you know, a lot of jurisdictions throughout the world, actually, the police are considered an arm of the state. In Calgary, we try to be an extension of the community, and that is evident by the folks that you see here today. So thank you very much, folks, for being here and the service that you provide to the city of Calgary. Now, a few months ago, Gar Gar reached out to me and find ways to help the youth in the community reach their full potential. And I was happy to connect these young people with members of the Calgary Police Service who you see here today. So thank you so much. You know, during my tenure as a police officer, I saw firsthand the kind of impact the positive role models can make in the lives of children. And good role models show youth what is possible and help them to reach their full potential. I'm proud to be here to recognize the outstanding achievements of the youth that are in the South Sudanese community and some of the role models who are helping them along the way. Young people in this province and the rich cultural diversity that we have are some of the reasons why Alberta is such a great place to live, to work, and of course, to raise a family. Now, none of us ever achieve anything on our own. It takes a whole community to support us and help us achieve our goals. And I want to ask everybody here, just give a round of applause to the families, the teachers, the mentors, the friends who have helped all of these young people here today to get to where they are. So we give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Work and dedication and the discipline is being recognized here tonight. Now, each and every person here is so proud of you and what you have achieved. I also want to remember that you are so much more than your achievements. I know that this community has been hit hard by many tragedies in the last few months, but please remember to look out for each other and to never be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Here in Canada and here in Calgary, you can achieve anything you set out by just putting your mind to something, regardless of where you come from. Yes, we all encounter obstacles along the way, and I encourage you to dream big and to set goals. That way, you'll always be growing and learning and moving forward. With that said, I want to thank you again for inviting me here again tonight. And according to Gar, I'm actually partly co-hosting this, so thank you very much, Gar, for that last-minute invite. On behalf of the United Conservative Government, my colleagues in the room, and of course all the elected officials here, who I'm sure are going to say a few words, and especially congratulations to everybody. I want to congratulate you all, and thank you to the mentors who have guided all these kids along the way. You have a bright future ahead of you, and I'm so excited to see where you will go and what you will achieve. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and I will hand this over to Gar for our next guest.
Absolutely. Well, the best part is always when you see people that empower you, and that's an honor. I think we meet here today for one purpose, and that purpose is hope. Sometimes we come from far away. Each one of us had that journey. We don't know exactly what kind of journey, but I think we had one hope, and even that's where all our dignitaries today, our community members, our guests came here, is the hope for a better and a hope for that hard work and staying humble. But also the main thing is the hope for the youth. Today we have that honor. I take this moment to deeply and sincerely welcome you guys here for the first time and seeing that aspects. We tried this event for like 5 years ago, and every time we kept failing. But I think the failure wasn't the community, the failure wasn't the things. I think it was actually reaching beyond. And I think we tried this time, and we actually found a lot of people with the same heart, with the same purpose, and that purpose is actually the youth success. Thank you guys today, and it is a humble honor just to welcome you guys. I used to be the one in backseat, and I was the shyest person. I don't know how did I do it, but I'm here today, and I wish one day those kids will take that part again. I would like to take this moment to welcome from the provincial, people who took time from their families, people who took this in the long weekend to come here, and from the municipal, who has that purpose and families as well, from the communities, and from the Calgary Police, and from the non-for-profit organizations. And thank you also from the faith group that came here today. But thank you for everybody that have that purpose. I think everybody here has the same connections. Our community seems to say, you know, it will never be done. But look around you, and from now on, have that faith in the youth and say, I think it comes back about the ownership that we take, and the ownership that we take in our life, in what we want it to be, and leave the past. I think a lot of people talk about the past sometimes, but that's in stagnation. Nevertheless, even the present, you should ask yourself what you want to do in the future, but also take pride, and take pride for where you can, and the hardship. I think that's something that our kids try to use that vacuum, and that's something that we take honor in, and also the privilege. I think a lot of people talk about mentorship. A lot of people talk about the sense of the community, and I think those are the issues. Last time we were talking about things that the new generation are facing. The issues with the mental health, the issues of not fitting in. And when I say not fitting in, is that basically, coming to the community and try to see, like what are the things, but, trying to, you are 10 steps behind, and then moving on the ward, and finding yourself also you're 10% behind. That actually doesn't show that those youth are not capable, but it shows like maybe they just need that hands up, maybe just lifting them up. And that comes through empowerment. And that's why we started this program, the South Sudanese Youth Empowerment. It's in particular just empowering the youth to believe in themselves and saying like, yes, you can do it, and yes, we are here for you. And sometimes all these youth might come here. They might have done it on their own, and that's okay. All we need to tell them is today we come together to be proud of them and to say, yes, you did it, and we are proud of you. But you will never be alone, because everything that we have in our hand, we'll do to succeed. So without further ado, once again, I'll just take this moment once again to deeply thank you guys, because every person that came here today defined and shifted that definition in our community. I think there is that sense before saying the community voice wasn't listened to, or or those issues are not coming forward. And that's part of the integrations, but also that's part of that circle of life. And thank you guys, because I think even the first step, just taking this Sunday to come here and spend it with our community, with our youth, it shows that you care. And the first step, that's the best investment that you can have, is always caring for someone. And the best person is caring for the youth. Thank you so much and for this opportunity. And I will definitely, without further ado, I think I get emotional and I always talk about the youth, and we might talk about an essay tonight. So without further ado, I would like to call our first guest of honor. And she's somebody who also took the time. I think her title has the word children on it, and by now probably somebody might know who she is. I see a table there. Yeah, so without further ado, I would like to call Honorable Rebecca, Minister of the Children's Services.
Thank you so much, everybody. I am incredibly honored to be here along with all of my colleagues who, I have your names down, but I don't think I need to read them all out again. Other elected officials, all levels of government. I just saw some federal MPs walk in as well. So welcome everybody tonight, and thank you so much for having us here. Each one of you have worked so incredibly hard, and I am so proud to be here to help celebrate your accomplishments. For the youth, I understand some of the struggles that have been taking place in the community over the past number of months, and whether you are graduating high school, starting high school, or receiving a scholarship or a leadership award tonight, I also want to say thank you. Thank you so much for setting an example for those around you and for the difference that you're making in your community, our city, and our province. When I look around this room, and certainly some of the young people that I met earlier today, I know that there are young people here who are more than ready to start the journey that lies ahead. You are the future of our province. You are who we think of when we make decisions as your elected representatives. And what comes next on your journey is up to each of you. Whether you pursue university or college, start a career, start a business, or if you're still figuring out what is next to come, your hard work and your tenacity and the awards that you're receiving tonight show us that you're already role models, not just here in your community, but also to your peers and to your family. From the South Sudanese Youth Empowerment Society, congratulations. It is a testament of what you can accomplish with hard work. And before I finish, I do just want to make one small request, and that is that you continue to leave your mark. Alberta is in fact the best place in the world to live, to work, and to raise a family, but we face new challenges every single day, and that is why we need you. We need your talents, we need your strength, we need your compassion, and your pursuit of knowledge, now more than ever. Please continue to use your experiences to empower and real contribution to make. Alberta possesses tremendous resources and potential thanks to inventive and accomplished young people like you. Thank you again so much for having us here to celebrate with you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our next guest, there was just two other people we just wanted to especially recognize. One is, we'll say my bad, and the other one was somebody who just walked in the door. So first, can we recognize Senator in Waiting, Mike Shake? Mike, do you mind standing up to be recognized? There you go. Thank you, sir, for being here. And then you have the newly elected member of Parliament, who is the former candidate along with me back in an election not that long ago, and I see you did great. So we welcome Member of Parliament, Mr. Holland. Guys, Holland. All right, I'd like to invite our next guest. She is the Minister of Social Services, Rajan Sami. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to start off by sharing a favorite quote of mine. Dreams. It takes time, patience, perseverance, a willingness to fail if they are to be anything more than dreams. So I'm just going to speak out to the children directly, and I had a speech prepared for new graduates, but I'm looking around the room and there's children here of many different ages, so I'm going to speak to you all directly. First of all, I want to say that I'm a dreamer, and I think all children, as you're thinking about your future, you should all be dreamers as well. You should think about the things that you want to accomplish in your life, the things that make you happy, the things that will make your families proud of you. And the thing about dreams is that it's not easy. There will always be somebody who will say to you that you're not good enough, you're not tall enough, you're too short, you're not smart enough, you're too smart. And you have to overcome that. There will be people who will say no to you. No, you can't do this. No, it's not possible. No, you're not worthy. And to that, you say yes. Yes, I can do anything that I put my heart to. There will be people who will try to scare you and say, if you do that, the world will fall apart. If you don't do what I say, people are going to be mad at you. And what I say to you when people try to scare you or you have scary situations, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Rise above. I am just like you. All of the children in this room, I want you to hear me. I am just like you. I went to school here in Calgary. I graduated from school here in Calgary. I am a daughter of immigrants. My parents didn't always understand the school system, and they didn't always understand what Canadian society is. But you know what? I'm successful, and I know that you are successful today, particularly all the children who graduated, and your success didn't begin today. It began much, much earlier. Anyhow, I just wanted to say a few simple words, and if you take any message away this evening, and that's to always dream big, make sure you follow your dreams to the very end, and don't forget to work hard, and don't forget to thank your families, and don't forget to give back to your communities. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's always a pleasure to be amongst you all. Thank you.
Wise words. Thank you very much, Minister. Our next guest is my neighboring constituency, right next to me in Calgary, Beau. He is the Minister of Advanced Education. Could we please welcome up Minister Dmitry Nikolaidis? Welcome, sir.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mike. Mike is right. We are neighboring constituencies, although I am a little bit biased, and I do think my constituency is slightly better than Mike's over in Calgary West, but of course I'm obliged to say that. Well, thank you for having me here. It's such a true honor and a true pleasure to be here as Alberta's Minister of Advanced Education. And I, on behalf of the Premier, Jason Kenney, and my government colleagues here today and all other guests, I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all award winners, their friends, their families, and their supporters. You should all be proud of your accomplishments, and I want to take a moment to congratulate particularly the South Sudanese Youth Empowerment Society, all of its members, all of its volunteers for the hard work that they do to make this such a success. And I want to take a moment to talk to you about the importance of why education is so critical and why the work that the South Sudanese Youth Empowerment Society does is so critical. It's so critical because, like many of you here, and similar to Minister Sani, my parents were newcomers to Canada. They came to Alberta from Cyprus, a small island in the Mediterranean, which is actually not too far from South Sudan. And they came from very humble beginnings. They didn't have a lot of opportunities available to them when they arrived, but when they arrived, they came with courage. They came with optimism and a hard work ethic, determined to create a better future for themselves and, more importantly, for their children. They were not able to finish high school, and they wanted to make sure that my siblings and I had the chance to get a strong education, because they believed, and as do I, that education is a critical path to success. Their hard work and sacrifice allowed me to eventually go on to university, to complete my master's, and finally to complete my PhD. And it's clear that through hard work and determination, a bright future is always possible. And I know that many of you here today are receiving awards for academic success, but equally as important are achievements in sports, community, leadership, and other service. And in closing, I want to make a quick comment. I know that Alberta's strong and vibrant South Sudanese community is a true testament to the Alberta dream. Many of you and past generations came to Alberta to find a better future, just like my parents did. Alberta has always rewarded hard work and will always give everybody a chance to get ahead and succeed. I wish everybody here the greatest success, and I hope you have a terrific evening. To the award recipients, you have earned it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, DK. All right. Yes, he loves Calgary. Anybody who's from Calgary,